Saturday's my new favorite day, y'all. I've been out here. I love it. We have some goodness that's going to be taking place, but before I introduce our chef, I'd like to thank our sponsors, which include Renewal, Remodel, and Additions. They provided the kitchen you see here. You have a little kitchen jealousy, hit 'em up. And Bates Technical College, who's jealousy, hit 'em up. And Bates Technical College, who's all around us. They're going to be getting all the sweet, juicy, sizzling, amazing shots that you're going to see on the screen over here. So keep an eye on that. Let's give it up for Bates, guys. And we're going to introduce, I want like the warmest, biggest applause. Welcome to Chef Hudson Slater.
Hey, everybody.
That's like, they mean it.
Yeah, can you hear me? All right.
How you feeling today, Chef?
Feeling great.
I love it.
Feeling really good.
What are you doing for us today?
I am going to make some braised beef short ribs with some creamy polenta, and I'm going to highlight some kind of equipment. That's what I do now is I sell kitchen equipment for the holidays. So some kind of different ideas you can use to store food or present food, and we'll just, do it all cohesively.
So tell us a little bit about where you're working now.
So I used to be a professional chef in restaurants, and now I'm into kitchen equipment, food service sales. So anything that commercial kitchens need, hospitals, stadiums, anybody that needs equipment, we work alongside the people doing that and help them build kitchens, putting in top-notch equipment. We've got Cambro is a really popular one, so food storage, shelving, just a ton of different options with Cambro, to-go catering like go bags and go boxes you can see below here. American Metal Craft, a lot of tabletop stuff, Rationale, Montague, Edlin. These are just kind of big, very popular equipment in the industry. Cambro and American Metal Craft, you can, if you like something you see here, you can go to Bar Greens on Tacoma Mall Boulevard and purchase this stuff. So if you see something here, like, I could use that the holiday season, you go to Bar Greens and you can buy it. You don't have to be a restaurant person to do that.
That's a great tip because I think a lot of folks don't
There's
know
a lot
that.
of cool stuff in Bar Greens if you haven't been there. Really cool stuff. Okay. So everybody understand what Market Team is?
We got it.
All right,
We got the market team.
We'll have recipes down here, and our newsletter has all of our equipment. If you have any, if you're just curious, it's all right down here. This recipe is braised short ribs, about 3 hours, so I hope you guys don't have to go anywhere. Just kidding.
Holding people hostage
We'll do
today.
a little magic of television here today. So we're going to start with the braised short ribs. While that's kind of cooking, we'll make our polenta, and then we'll sample, which is I know why everyone's here.
I think really, deep down in their hearts, they want a little of the pro tips from the chefs.
Yeah.
It's not very often you guys come out here and really give away your deepest, darkest secrets in the kitchen.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to start with some short ribs. I've got it in this Cambro Fresh Pro container. It's got a little drain shelf, so if you got produce or anything, it's really great with fruit, chopped fruit, or meats. Kind of keeps it out of the juices. So we're going to take this guy here, and we're going to season it up. Okay. We're just doing kind of a rub. You can do any kind of just salt and pepper. This is just a little chipotle herb rub.
Ooh, that sounds
So
delightful.
we're just going to season our short ribs liberally, which means a lot. It's not a political thing.
Thank you for the clarification there.
Yeah. It's the holidays. We don't talk about politics.
If we have questions at any point in time, if you raise your hands, I will come over with the microphone so Chef can hear you. Don't be shy. We encourage questions.
Yeah. So I've got our pan over here on kind of a high heat. Actually, I lied. Now it's on a high heat. And we'll be ready to start searing. So you kind of tell, I'm sure you can see on the screen maybe, right?
We can see it on the screen.
I've just got it kind of covered all around here. So you could even kind of season this, let it sit at room temperature for an hour, so it'll get a better sear. So the cold meat hitting the hot pan, it's gonna the more room temperature the meat is, the better the sear is going to be in the pan. So that's why if you cook something frozen, it doesn't sear; it just kind of boils eventually. So the closer you get this meat to the pan temperature, the better it's going to sear.
Love it.
That's kind of your tip of the day with meat. Okay. So this is a real simple recipe. We're going to do traditional kind of vegetables here: carrots, celery, onions, a little bit of garlic, tomato paste, some herbs, and some red wine. I've got these Titan drinkware from American Metal Craft. They are melamine, so it's kind of a fun thing for the holidays. You have a bunch of these and not worry about, you might have a spill, but you don't have a bunch of glass, right? So I'm going to make sure it tastes good.
That's a great product right there. I think
Yeah.
we need more of that. Don't bust out the fancy crystal during the holidays, guys. Tuck
Yeah.
that away.
So we've got a red blend here. Just going to make sure it's all right.
Quality control.
Well, I saw Tacoma Knife, chef.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Right
drinking,
out of the
so why not?
bottle.
These are all similar, so it's kind of fun, right? Some cool designs.
Yeah, because they look fancy.
Yeah, all
So
these
you kind of
plates.
zhuzh it up without breaking anything.
Yeah, all these plates down here, all melamine, so similar. So they look cool. And
Are those dishwasher friendly?
Dishwasher friendly.
Okay. Oh,
Yep.
was that the question?
All right, so we're going to do a little oil in our pan.
What kind of oil are you going to use, Chef?
Maybe like a canola oil, olive oil blend. Hot pan. And then we'll turn down the temperature, right? So we're going to sear.
Ooh, we got that sizzle right out of the gates.
Okay. Now we're just going to take some of our vegetables here. We've kind of pre-washed them and get them ready for chopping. I don't really like to peel carrots. I think when you're cooking them, they just add a little more flavor. It's kind of, you bought the carrot, you might as well use it, right? So I just wash them and then use all the skin and everything. So you can chop these into dices. You can just do rings. It really doesn't matter what you do with this, because we're going to braise it. This is going to be in the oven for like 3 hours.
It's going to transform.
Yeah. You want to make sure you have your hood fan working if you're doing, braising in the house.
Now, why do you say that? Why would you use the hood fan?
So take all this steam and get it outside the house, and your inside your house won't smell like oil and beef fat.
It'll ruin your cabinets after a while. You just soak the kitchen up.
We kind of want a dark sear on this because it's going to be braised, so it's going to get a nice flavor on this. And we're just going to sear all the kind of corners of this while we get the rest of our stuff ready. So we got carrots. We've got celery. We're just going to take this and do similar, just a rough chop. You've got things to do. This is a great thing. You could even do this in a crock pot if you needed to. Have oven space, you could sear it and then put it into a crock pot.
Now, Chef, is this something you make at home once in a while?
A variation of this, every once in a while, definitely. Not every holiday season, but if we have beef, I definitely will do that. And you could do this with different chuck or anything like that. It doesn't have to be short ribs. It could be stew meat and kind of do a similar thing. It just won't be kind of as fatty as a short rib. All right, so we've got our short ribs going. So the recipe is it's like 6 pounds for a large amount. So you'll do the beef, set it aside, and then you'll do your vegetables. But since I've got a lot already made, we're just going to do this right in the same pan to kind of show you the idea of what.
Again, we're doing the kitchen magic. It'll just magically be done. 3 hours, we'll have time lapse.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to cut our onion. we're not going to try, anything too fancy. You can serve these vegetables with it. You can strain it out and make a nice sauce. So the main thing is just to kind of be uniform in the pieces so they cook at a similar time.
And is there a preference for onion type that you go to for this?
I like yellow onions, white onions. I feel like red onions is really good in like salsas. I don't really cook with red onion a whole lot. Sometimes the color leaches out a little bit. All right. So what we're going to do here is kind of move our beef on top. So if you're doing this for 2 or whatever, you could do it totally like this. Just scale your recipe down. And you could do this in one pot. You could use a hand-me-down pot, casserole pan. Mm-hmm. You could braise it in that. Put the glass lid on it and braise it that way. All right. So we're going to do a little garlic. This is kind of a fun American Metal Craft thing. It's just cute, and the garlic fit in there. So
it's adorable. I need one.
Yeah, well,
garlic.
If I make it out of here alive, I'll let you have it.
It'll just have disappeared.
So garlic, we're gonna. You could throw these in whole because it's gonna be cooking in the red wine beef stock mixture, and that garlic will kind of leach out into the sauce. So this is just a nice way to really streamline prep. You want to make a nice, hearty dish without having to do a lot of chopping. We're just going to throw these cloves in whole. Use the back of your knife, kind of press down the garlic. Fresh garlic's always better. If you have a jar of minced garlic, you can use that. You don't want to throw away food, but don't ever buy it again. And just get
Noted.
Fresh garlic. Get yourself a garlic press. Gloves are kind of nice in the house so you don't have stinky hands. I know garlic is hard to get off your hands. There we go. All right, so we turn the heat down to kind of a medium heat. Okay. And so it's already starting, the moisture in the onions is already starting to deglaze the pan. And the celery, some of that liquid's coming out. And we add this white wine, or the red wine, excuse me. It's going to pull it all off, and that's going to get into the sauce. It's going to be really, really delicious.
Love it.
We have some rosemary. We're just going to pull it off the stem here. Rosemary is a really easy herb to grow in the area. It grows kind of almost like year-round. It's hard to kill.
Yeah, it'll take over if you let it.
Yeah, that too. So you could throw this in if you're going to plan on straining the sauce. You could just throw them in whole. We're just going to do a rough chop on these, because I might not strain this out. This one's coming home with me, and we're going to have this later.
So what's for dinner?
Yep. Okay. So we're going to add our tomato paste. And we're going to let that cook a little bit. That's just going to help the richness of the sauce, the coloration of it.
Are you guys getting some of those aromas out here? So
nice.
Good.
All right, so we're going to stir this tomato sauce in. So you might have seen, like, if anybody watched The Bear or chef shows, right? Actual chef cooking, they use the deli cups a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like smaller, thinner plastic. And what happens a lot is they get reused, they get rewashed. They're not really supposed to. Cambro's got these really cute 1 quart, half quart, deli cups, but they're reusable.
Love it.
Wash them, secure lids. So again, Bar Greens is like the closer you get it. Amazon works too. Bar Greens is a nice local headquarters right here in Tacoma, family company. All right, so we're cooking with heat, so we're going to get this in here so we don't burn anything. We've got a little char. Make sure Jackie has some.
Save some for the host.
Yep.
Thanks, Chef. About how much are you putting in there?
What did the last chef say? A little bit.
A little bit, just
Yeah.
a little bit.
For the recipe, 6 short ribs is 1 bottle.
Okay.
So make sure you get a little sip before you put it in. And the rest of the bottle goes in. Okay, so.
Ooh, look at it. It's just sizzling and doing its thing already.
We're already sizzling. We're moving. We're grooving. Okay. So we're going to let that kind of cook up, and we're going to start our polenta, which is perfect. All right, so polenta, again, we're going to do garlic and onion and some herbs. So this one we're going to chop a little finer because we're going to cook it. How are we doing on time?
Let's take a look here. It's 2:24.
Okay.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
Feeling fresh?
Should be good.
We only got like 2.5 more hours, guys, so be patient.
All right, so we're going to do a little oil in this pan. All right, so we're bubbling really good here, right? That sauce, that tomato sauce is already, I mean, this is perfect. You can see that, right? Everybody can see that? Nice, dark, rich color there. We're going to add some beef stock. Kind of just enough to just get to the top there. Okay. Actually, we should cut the onion first. I always like to do the garlic last so we don't burn the garlic. It get bitter. So we'll chop this and we'll chop our onion.
What is the garlic threshold for being bitter and not so good? Is there a general rule of thumb you use?
I mean, it's just if it starts to blacken, it's going to get bitter. So if it's kind of brown and roasty, that's always good. It's kind of mean it was slow. We're going to sweat this. We're going to kind of heat this in a pan. It could burn if we're not careful. All right, so we're just going to bring this short ribs back up to a boil, and we're going to essentially cover it and put it in the oven. What will happen is if you put it in the oven, it's 350. And, you want to cover it in case it starts to kind of bubble and you get stuff inside your oven. If it's the holidays, you don't really want to clean your oven, right? So, and that'll help keep the moisture inside. It'll keep the short ribs not from drying out. We're just doing a quick dice on the onions here.
There's that nice sizzle again, guys.
Yeah.
So, Chef, you've made a transition. You're here with Market Team, but where have you worked in the past? Where we might have had your food and not even known it if we haven't met you before?
Most recently, about 2.5 years ago, at Asado on 6th Ave. Great steakhouse, wood fire grill. I actually took the Market Team group there the other month ago and had a great time. So they're still going strong. Tacoma Yacht Club for a little bit. Some restaurants that have closed, unfortunately, Maxwell's and Marrow.
I mourn both of those places all the time. If you're a Tacoma native, you just think, man, they both were so wonderful.
So we're going to do a little rosemary in our polenta as well. Okay. Got a whisk. All right, so we're going to use a little truffle salt. Just I thought it'd be fun. So it's got a little dried truffles.
Where would you find that?
Well, I mean, you definitely get it at like Met Market. You might even be able to get it at Safeway now. It's kind of pretty popular.
Yeah.
But this one is actually truffles from Adam's mushrooms that I grated and put in salt and let it cure. So
beautiful.
That was really fun. Okay, so this is kind of bubbling away. So essentially, I would put this in the oven. I'm not going to put it in the oven. There's not a lot of room. Kind of looks pretty up here, so.
Just let it hang out,
we've got a pan of short ribs ready to go in the oven right now. So you would take this, cover it, foil or a metal lid, put it in the oven and let it bake for up to 3 hours, you know, for a large serving. This would not take 3 hours. So you're kind of looking to get like 200 degrees temperature on the short rib. That'll be fall apart. It'll be, you know, it'll break down with just a fork. You won't really need a knife. It won't be chewy.
And what would your oven temp be set at?
350.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to crank the heat up on the polenta now, the pan for the polenta. So we're going to boil some cream or half and half in chicken stock.
And did you mention about how much would this feed traditionally, the recipe that you have available?
I mean, if you're doing a large dinner and you have a bunch of other sides, this could be up to 12 people.
Wow.
But, you know, if you're just doing this, maybe around 6 to 8. The recipe here. Okay, we're going to do some half and half. So it's nice and creamy. We're going to add some butter and Parmesan as well. Okay. No questions. Am I doing a really good job?
I know. Everyone's just, we're a captive audience here. We're looking at that sizzling thing.
People need some coffee.
We have 2 questions. I'm going to start here.
So can you cook it ahead?
Sorry, was that?
Are you able to do this ahead?
Ahead of time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you'll try today was done last night. Okay. Polenta, not so much. I mean, you could add more milk to it and bring it back up that way. It doesn't really microwave very well once it's been refrigerated. But the short ribs, definitely.
And we have another question
here. It must be
here.
really easy to do that, is to make them ahead, get it in your pan, and put it in the oven that day. And you can do other stuff.
Yeah. Who wants to cook
Holidays
all day?
can be hectic.
Another question, Chef.
I want to hear a little bit more about the mushroom salt. You said you shredded up the mushrooms and
yeah. So I just took a truffle and just shredded it into a little pan of salt. So something like this. I just put the salt in the pan and then just microplaned it, grated it into that, and then the salt cures, right? It dehydrates it, so it pulls the moisture out of the truffle into the salt, so the salt tastes like truffle and the truffle tastes like salt, and so it just ends up looking like this with the black flakes. This is not salt and pepper, this is truffle salt.
So then the mushroom stays with the salt. You don't sit that away.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. We have another question here.
Can you use other types of meat, like pork roast or something using
pork
that
would be,
same?
Yeah, definitely. You could definitely do pork, chicken, like a coq au vin is a French dish. That's very similar to this. Red wine, mushrooms.
Love it. And I'm just going to stay in this front row seat. I'm going to hang out with the show. We have another question here.
So how do you find a good cut of short rib?
I mean, short ribs are typically kind of a nice cut. They're more expensive, so definitely like a trusted butcher shop, and you get short ribs, you should be good to go. Sometimes if you find a good butcher shop and you get like a chuck roll, you could use that and it'd be less expensive. To use that as like a short rib in this recipe. But yeah, beef short ribs usually are bone in sometimes. And they're really nice piece of meat. They become really popular, so they are kind of more expensive sometimes. So anything kind of braised, you could do this similar. This would be good for like a crock pot.
And is there a vendor store you'd recommend to get just a good cut of meat?
Oh, I'm just drawing blanks. Is Ray's, is that, right? Where's the butcher shops around town? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Dave's. Down in kind of by Old Town. That's always good.
The Butcher Boys.
Butcher Boys. Costco is not bad, really.
Thank you for the questions,
the
guys.
local boys, Tacoma boys, they get some nice meat. Okay, what are we doing on time here?
33 after, Chef.
Okay. We'll be close. This polenta will cook quick. So we're going to add our garlic and rosemary in here. We have the salt. We added some salt. We're going to kind of let the polenta and the cheese get in there, and we'll try it again before we're done. Just some fresh cracked pepper. I know a lot of people know this already. With storing leftovers or storing foods, you want to make sure it's airtight, right? So you plastic wrap it or whatnot. Cambro's got a nice feature here with the seal lid. It pops into place. No air is getting to your food. Keeps it fresh 2 to 3 days longer. And then this drain shelf kind of keeps it from getting soggy. This is nice for produce, meats. This green lid will fit. You can see the different sizes here. That blue one down there, they have a larger one, is great for brining turkeys. So if you need to brine a turkey and you don't have a container for that, and that's something you want to try, that blue lid is really great. You can kind of see down here there's some Go bags and Go boxes from Cambro. These are great, versatile ways to bring hot and cold food if you don't have something already. There's a cold plate there. They have a warm plate that you can add to the bag and keeps everything kind of like a cooler. Fits kind of nicely in your car versus a large cooler. So just some options for the holidays coming up. Yeah.
Hey, you think you're commuting from your house, you're going to your Nana's house.
Yeah.
You want to bring it hot?
Okay, we've got a simmer here. We're hoping to get a boil here pretty soon. I should have started this maybe a little earlier, but it's going to be fine.
It's going to be all right.
Yep. I want to get the cheese kind of ready. That's what we'll do. And we're not going to use all this butter. Don't worry.
People are going to be leaving here with a cardiac arrest.
Yeah. Yeah, who was here for the mac and cheese?
There's some mac and cheese.
That was good.
Y'all missed out.
That was good.
Chef Stephen Gangle's like, just a little bit of butter. And by a little bit, he meant
a lot.
A lot of it. A lot of butter.
So just going to just grate our cheese. This is not like my ideal grater for this particular thing. This is great for like finishing a salad or something, finishing pasta. I forgot a cheese grater.
If you look in the top drawer to your right, it's a funky one, yep, but there are some options there. I don't know if it's much better than what you have, but...
No. This will work.
For those who have never cooked in a demonstration kitchen, everything's foreign.
This will work. We'll fold the butter and cheese in at the end.
Would you recommend other cheeses for this recipe?
Yeah, I mean, like Beecher's cheddar is really good. Just something that melts well. I would probably do like a cheddar or a Parmesan, Fontina. You could do like a cheese blend. It's gonna melt and it's gonna make it creamy. It's just. All right, we'll check that out. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of our polenta. I'm eyeballing it just because that's what chefs do, right?
I haven't seen not one chef measure one thing this weekend.
I have a recipe with measurements.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
there you go. Okay. Think about polenta, you can kind of just keep adding, right? If you need to. So we're going to do, we need to eat our vegetables, so I'm just going to do a quick little broccolini here. And then I'm just going to do a little quick garnish salad for our plated. I was taking some parsley leaves.
Now, you said broccolini. For those who are not familiar, how is that different from broccoli?
It's just a really fun one. It's a long broccoli. It's got a nice stem, totally edible. Great on the grill. Same flavor. So it just tastes like broccoli, but it's just a little it's a little more versatile, like grilling or whatnot. So this goes pretty quick with the polenta. You want to kind of keep stirring it. It's kind of like oatmeal, right? So this is just a ground corn. We're starting to thicken up, so we're going to just turn it down just a little bit. Okay.
It's got a nice boil going there.
I like to use the celery leaves inside. Just to kind of, I love the color and I love the flavor. So I always kind of set these aside and use it for garnishing or in a salad. It's kind of fun.
Oh, we have another question, Chef. I'm coming up.
Do you have any suggestions for introducing kids to tasting new things or getting them involved in the kitchen? Any ideas there for folks who have little ones?
So getting kids involved in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you get them cooking in the kitchen, they're going to have a little sense of pride involved. You probably don't want them to do polenta because you can tell it's kind of molten lava right now. But I think if you get them to cook it, they're going to try it, right? If they do it, they're going to try it. They might not like it, but at least they'll try it. And then, I mean, just, some people just don't like stuff, and that's all right. But give them to try it is always good. Kind of don't really give them an option like the chicken nuggets or mac and cheese until they at least tried it, right?
Yeah.
If they really tried the food and they don't like the texture, totally makes sense. Wear your apron when you're doing this. Okay, see, now we're cooking. All right, we're pretty much ready.
Love it. Look at that. It's coming together.
Yep.
And so how far in advance, you say you got your braised and the goodness, when would you start making the polenta so it's ready just in good timing?
You could start it right after and kind of keep it on the stove. You could move it off to the side and then kind of just warm it back up.
We'll put just a little bit of butter in there.
Yeah. I'm a professional. I'm a trained professional, everybody. These electric stoves can be tricky.
It's true.
All right, so we're just melting the butter in there. All right, we got a little lemon, a little herb oil for our little salad. We're just going to do a quick little garnish on top. You're supposed to do it over. You're supposed to catch the seeds, right? I made a little parsley oil, so it's just cooked. I just pulsed parsley and oil and heated it up and then strained it. So, a little salt.
More of
pepper.
that truffle salt there. Do they make herb oil that you could just purchase as is?
They do, I think. I don't know where you'd buy it, actually.
I can't think of where to get it.
So,
But it's easy to make.
yeah. All right, so it's just a quick little salad. We're going to put it in this fun little American Metal Craft paella pan.
We have 2 questions here for you, Chef.
Hey, for some of us old fat people, what do we do as alternatives to salt?
As a alternative to
Alternative to salt. Health conscious is what I like to call that.
if you can do cheese, the Parmesan cheese is pretty salty. Do you need to, omit that? Yeah. I don't know.
Just use a nice salty cheese and
you could
hope
do a
for
little
the
bit
best.
of the Parmesan and then just add more flavors, right? You could do nutritional yeast would be good in there. You could do nutritional yeast, more herbs, just change the salt to maybe something else. But have you used nutritional yeast at all? I think you should try it. It's got a nice cheesy flavor, but there's no cheese, there's no salt, right? My wife might know more about that than I do. She puts it on popcorn. It's delicious.
It's great on popcorn.
It's like Bragg's or Bob's Red Mill, so it's kind of that aisle of
find
the
it
grocery
where the
store.
flour and things are at.
What was that?
You could put it in just about
anything.
anything.
Yeah, so I mean, like this popcorn on the broccolini with a little oil, put on the grill, right? All right.
Okay, and we have one more question.
Yep, and I'm going to plate
Not
this
so
up and
much
we're
of
going
a
to serve.
question, but there is a vendor here selling herbed oil.
Thank you. There's a tip. Go find them if you're like, I'm not making herbed oil at home.
Nice. So a little broccolini.
Time check, it's 2:44, Chef.
All right. We're about ready to eat. I'm just going to plate this up.
Are you guys feeling ready to eat? There we go.
All right. Do we have, we're just doing plates, right?
We have plates and bowls, top shelf in the opening cabinet by the hand washing station.
Okay. So we're going to add our cheese here. And it's thickened up quite nicely, so we're just going to add a little cream. That's the beauty of it. You just kind of add to it.
You can always add. You can't take away.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, look at it, that consistency.
All right, we're going to taste it. I don't want to poison you guys.
We have one more question.
Not so much a question, a comment. If you're avoiding salt, if you get into like chilies and spices, you can get them from very mild to hotter, and it kind of takes the place of salt.
It's a good way to be. They're going to be best friends after this presentation, guys. Cooking brings people together. Breaking bread. We're adding a little more cheese.
A little cheese, a little cheese, a little cheese.
Just a little.
Do you think it needs a little more butter?
I don't know that it does. Were you guys paying attention?
Yeah.
So what
All right.
Chef's going to do, you're going to make us a pretty plate, right?
Yep, and then we're going to serve it up.
And then we're going to serve up sample sizes. So we get to kind of see the finished product. There are oven mitts to the drawer on the left if you need them. Don't burn yourself.
What are oven mitts?
Who needs a... Chefs have those hands. They just grab stuff. Here's the kitchen magic. Ta-da!
All right. So,
You know, and I really appreciate the broccolini here, as this is a really rich dish.
Yeah.
But just a little green veggie, you're like, it's good for me, though.
Yeah. So we're just going to take our little fun dish here, pick a side.
Now, do you guys provide these fun little dishes as well?
Yeah, it's American Metal Craft. So American Metal Craft does make things with metal. Like so.
It's coming together.
And then oh, here we go. Just need a little sauce. So I just like to kind of get some on the polenta, get some on the pan. Right. We got our fresh little salad here with some little flowers and celery. We'll kind of just put that.
Look at that,
like
guys.
So. And we've got a nice little dish. You could do this on a big platter, and you're ready to serve.
There we have it. Wait, Chef, pull it closer to you again. We had a good shot, and then you pushed it away. Wait, can we get a shot of it again? Don't move. Move. There it is. All right, we can applause now.
All right.
Chef, do you have any final thoughts before you start dishing up samples?
Just, I've got my information down here. If you have any questions, let me know. And I hope everyone has a really nice holiday, stress-free. Enjoy your family and friends.
Wonderful.
Thank
you, Chef. Let's give it up again.